Hey guys, just doing another market analysis today. So this is for the Sunday Open. So there was a signal for USD JPY, so there was a long signal, but it did turn back over. The signal was at open, so spreads were kind of high at that time. Unfortunately, but perhaps we could see another long signal later on, especially if the U.S. pairs continue to, the U.S. dollar strength continues to be weak and the dollar dumps. So as you can see, we opened up here at 147.490, more than a 200 pip spike, and we have now closed lower than opening. So it is possible for the next 4-hour candle to get the same thing. Spreads will be cheaper, obviously. So have a look at that. It seems to be a market-wide trend right now. Just to show you, we have the euro and the other pairs doing the same thing. Pretty much it dumped at open and then has risen back up. So potentially we could see another move like that later on. So that's Euro USD, pound dollar doing similar things. Pretty much the same thing. So we opened up 1.13899. We had a high of 114. So not too much of a spike for this pair. Looks like the dollar yen is having much more bearish pressure right now. But for the dollar, so there's not much of a correlation at this time. As you can see, the US is showing weakness here for the US dollar, for the pound, for the dollar yen, but for the pound US, it's showing strength. So we might not see a market-wide theme here. So you also might get the short here, but it looks like it's kind of heading back towards neutral. We'll see if we can get a close higher. Perhaps we can get more short signals later on. There is no signal, only for the dollar yen. Everything else didn't really have a signal. Yeah, USCAD showing a little bit of strength at this time. Did fall originally at open. Not too much, not as much movement as the other pairs, but it did have a 30 pip, 35, 36 pip spike, so we'll see if that can continue. Starting to get kind of neutral now. It's kind of going, so how am I looking at that? So I'm looking kind of like at the highs of these candles and the lows here, and kind of going back to the middle area. Kind of just taking the average price. Slightly getting back to the neutral area, so yeah, if we could potentially see some more dumping before the next candle, that could provide a long opportunity. Looks like US Swiss had the spike. Looks like it was more volatile than USCAD. Still showing a little bit of strength now, but has declined. So same idea, we'll be watching for a dump and potential long later on. Looks like US Japanese, looks like it's going back to neutral right now. Well, that's a huge doji. But yeah, I was hoping for that to close down here. Unfortunately, if it doesn't, market will probably be kind of neutral in my perspective, so I might have to wait for another session. The Aussie's fallen a little bit since open, maybe a little bit less than 40 pips. Currently about 20 pips down or so. So we could potentially see something later on. Still watching. Same for the Kiwi. We'll just move on here to some other stuff. So Bitcoin potentially see a short soon. Actually, I guess there's a candle starting in about 6 minutes. We'll come back to that if we're still here. Oil, we did see the decline last week. Hopefully we can see some of that continued decline again. We did have lows of $81 a barrel, which is nice to get back down there. Let's just see how the daily charts are doing here. Pretty neutral. Weekly. Weekly's pretty neutral as well. Well, monthly we know that the MACD is crossing down. So I'm just going to go over any daily signals for these majors. Not seeing any reversals here at this time. Is there a little bit of reversal there? No, it's not. Looks like trend continuation. Whoops. No reversals on the daily chart at this time, because you can see we closed red here, and the MACD is continuing to close red. It's not like we had a red here, and then for the previous candle, and then we got a green signal for the current candle. That didn't happen on the daily, at least. It does happen, not as often on the daily, so it looks like pretty much nothing right now. Ethereum, it could be a nice short on Ethereum, that looks like. We could see a pretty good short coming up here. Yeah, that looks like there's a pretty big spike on that. So how am I looking? Well, why do I think it's a short? Some people may ask. Well, I think some people may think, well, it's bullish, isn't it? Well, at this time, there's a huge spike. Obviously, a lot of bullish volume. For me, my style would be to look for a reversal. So a signal on the MACD reversing would be a good signal. That would be a good signal. We've definitely moved far away from the average price. So definitely we've spiked up higher. Could potentially see a short here. Maybe, maybe not, depending on how much volume there is. Once again, looks like Bitcoin's kind of doing the same thing. Not as correlated, but looks like Ethereum had a bigger spike. Nasdaq futures bullish at the Sunday open today. So it looks like it has been bullish. Potentially see a short later on as well. There's not really much volume in there right now, but maybe we'll see later on if there is. The best times to trade Nasdaq and S&P are during the New York session. Sometimes you may see higher volume spikes outside of those hours, but doesn't hurt to check. Dollar strength, pretty much the same theme as the foreign exchange majors. Kind of neutral right now. Did have a spike and a low, and now it's closed right in the middle of the candle pretty much. Exactly at open, so it looks like it's almost exactly flat. Gold had the spike. If it does close higher above here, we could see a potential short soon as well. So that's pretty much it. We can do S&P futures. So S&P futures might get the short as well. Just watch your MACD. XRP, how's that doing? Not as volatile as the other pairs. Might see something Might see something later on though. Dogecoin's doing similar spike, so there's a similar spike happening in the crypto space right now. We will be watching that. I'm not actually, there's only 2 minutes left, so could just what else could we look at in this time? Sheep, pretty much not as much volume. Oh, I guess there is a little bit here. So it looks like we could see something. Maybe we'll just go back on it. So yeah, that could, we'll see if we get the signal. So I'll show you guys if we do get the signal. So what would happen is that MACD would turn basically in that number 7.36 and 616, and as you can see on the MACDs. If that number opens lower than that, I would take the short. That would be my signal of entry pretty much. And of course the bar would change colors to orange, showing that what's happening during that time is that the lines are squeezing together, showing that the price may be showing a reversal. And it's nice when there's lots of, like when a huge spike or a dump, those are the easiest ones, because it shows a lot of bullish volume that could potentially be, people could want to take profits on that, right? They would want to take profits, or they'd want to exit positions, maybe start shorting as well. So that can happen. So just 30 seconds here. Let's see what the weekly's doing. Potentially getting a slight bullish signal. MACD turning a little green here for monthly. Will that last? We'll see. Rates it has been a decline for crypto, right, for a long time. Unfortunately, no signal here at this time. It closed higher, so quite a huge gap. If that were to turn bearish, we'd probably end up neutral by then. So unfortunately, we did not get the signal for that. For those pairs at this time, that could show that there's not enough volume in crypto. That's why I usually don't trade it, or watch it, or analyze it, or like basically have too many signals about it at all, unless it's like the New York session. That's when the foreign exchange pairs are the hottest anyway, so I'd rather just go with those, to be honest. Didn't get any signals, unfortunately. So that'll sum up the video. Economic reports, we can do that later. And yeah, so that's just the kind of a feel for the open. Again, we're watching USD majors, Euro, Pound, Swiss franc, Aussie, Kiwi. So just have keep your eye on that, maybe a little bit during the day today. Hopefully it dumps once again, or else we're going to come up pretty neutral here. So if we can close down there, that would be nice, and potentially get another opportunity to go long later on. If not, if that doesn't happen, I guess we'll see what happens in the London session, and then I guess New York. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe to the channel if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.